Good morning. You might not believe this, but guess what? Your suffering is somebody else's blessing. It might sound kind of crazy, but that's just the way life happens sometimes. A lot of times we just don't want to be in situations and like, God, why me? Why me? Lord, I'm trying to do what's right. Lord, I'm trying to live for you. I'm trying to treat everybody. God, I am really trying, but why me, God? Why all this suffering? Well, let's talk about Paul and Silas when they was in prison. And they was going through their suffering, for preaching the gospel. And they was being persecuted for doing, for righteousness' sake. But guess what? Even in their suffering, God still came through. In Acts 16, starting in verse 25, it says, "But at midnight, Paul and Silas was praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners was listening to them. Suddenly, there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken. And immediately, all the doors was open and everyone's chains were loose." My God. That show you right there, even when they praising God, worshiping God, even in their suffering, when they allow themselves to sing unto God, give praises unto God, even those who was in prison, not only did God come and see about Paul and Silas, he came to see about everybody else that was locked up. Even locked up in your pain and your suffering, God is going to come through. People see what's going on. Think about it. You ain't the only one that's got an addiction. You ain't the only one that got a setback. You ain't the only one that's going through trouble. Somebody else is. They might be in silent, might not talk about it. Other people other prisoners might have been in there for what other reasons. Maybe not with Paul and Silas, but they was locked up. And so when God came and seen about his righteous, not only did he unloose his righteousness, his righteous ones, he loosed those who were still in prison. So people that's around you that's going through, you might not even know it, but they getting a breakthrough watching you. So then your pain and suffering, baby, don't lose out. Don't lose hope because God got you. And then it says, "And the keeper of the prison awakened from his sleep and seeing that the prison doors was open, supposing the prisoners had fled, he drew his sword and was about to kill himself. But Paul called with a loud voice saying, 'No, don't do yourself no harm. We are all here.'" Sometimes even your enemy might see your breakthrough. And like, how? I've done all I can to try to tear them down. And look at here. But even like Paul and Silas, even when the prisoner was about to kill himself, sometimes you got to go and encourage your enemy and let them know all is well. Let your enemy know God got you. Regardless of how you treated me on the job, regardless of how you treated me out there in the street, it don't even matter. No matter how, oh my God, yes, God. No matter how mean you have been to me in the restaurant, in the drive-thru, being my servant, God got you. See, your suffering, your joy, your pain is going to draw somebody else. Well, the prisoner was the doorkeeper was so excited and he seen what God had did. And he turned around and asked Paul and Silas, he said, "Look, sirs, what must I do to be saved?" And Jesus told him, "Believe in the Lord Jesus Christ and you will be saved. You and your household." He let him know you want to be saved, but it's even better. I got you and everybody else that's connected to you. And then it was so excited that Paul and Silas baptized them in that very hour. They didn't wait. They didn't wait till Sunday, wait till Monday. We don't know what day it was, but they didn't wait. But the doorkeeper was so excited, like, wait a minute, hold up, what is going on? I want whatever y'all got. What must we do to be saved? See, God's salvation is for each and every one of us, and he's waiting to spread it abroad. But he need us to go forth, regardless of what we got going on. But God is so amazing. He is awesome in everything that he do. Our prison pit is somebody else's blessing. Paul and Silas was able to get out of prison. Well, it shook the ground, but they didn't leave. Let me show you why they didn't leave. I don't know if they went to the prison, they went to the prisoner house, baptized them, and came back. Let me tell you why I say that. When you go down to verse 35, it says, And when it was day, the magistrates sent officers saying, let those men go. So the keeper of the prison reported these words to Paul, saying, the magistrates have sent to let you go. Now depart and go in peace. And Paul said, no. He condemned us openly, and he beat us openly before people. Those uncondemned Roman soldiers, let them come and put us out ourselves. Let them come and escort us. They did it openly, but they want to put us out in secretly. No, let them come themselves and get us out. But the officers were so afraid of the Roman soldiers, they pleaded with Paul and Silas, and they asked them to depart from the city. And Paul and Silas went from the city to do what they had to do. See, sometimes your enemy, you won't get that apology from the enemy, but don't you be encouraged. When God has released you from them and released you from your prison, don't worry about if you don't get that public apology. You keep on about your business, because your life is exemplifying to God that God was the one who saved you and brought you through. So again, your suffering is somebody else's blessing. Have a great day.